Okay, here's a question. Because these are all questions.
And I also think if you want to counter that with a lot of guys have success immediately post college season, that has a lot more to do with the structure of a college season than wrestling folk style in college.
Well, that's a very convenient perspective to take.
And age has a lot to do with it as well.
Perhaps. Okay. From Sip Dit. If you're Yazdani or one of his coaches, what's the answer for David Taylor, if there even is one? Yazdani hasn't scored a takedown in their last 2 matches, and DT seems to only have widened the gap from last year's beatdown. Yeah. Man, it's tough because he wrestles so one way. Like, David has such a diversity.
That's all of Iran, too, for that matter.
I would say Amazad is a little more, I mean, you kind of know what he's going to do. I think he's a little more diverse, a little more leg attack oriented than Yazdani, but I think, I don't know, you have to like rewind the tape and kind of go back to how you developed a lot of the way, because
you're a different weight class.
Honestly, do you go 97 and just see what happens?
Yeah.
I don't know what the answer is. David or Ben, technically, where does he give him so much trouble?
Well, I mean, like to your point, a lot of areas because he has no answer for him right now. Yeah, I mean, to your, I'm gonna look up his age right now.
He's like,
because he's
not old.
28.
He's 28, but he's obviously, he won the Olympics in 16, so he's older in his wrestling career. So to kind of reinvent yourself at this age is incredibly difficult. And that's something that he would have to do. He would have to really kind of reinvent his wrestling style to be leg attack oriented, or find a different way to attack David, because none of the ways he has right now are working even slightly.
Yeah. I mean, is there a hand fighting solution?
But it's got to be. But hand fighting's not going to be scoring, right? He's got to be able to score, and David's going to score at least a couple times, so he's got to be able to score more than a couple times, right?
Yeah.
And right, he's been so limited to an underhook and scrambles, and David just wins all those, and David doesn't give up any go behinds. I was actually grilling him. He was at P&L, and I was like, dude,
never,
because he never gives up go behinds, and one of the things is he kind of stays on both knees a lot, which is actually kind of, I'm saying kind of bad. He actually argued that it was good because he said, say in the Penn State room, they're so good at go behinds and I agree with this point, is if you put up a leg, they're going to go get that leg. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But obviously if you secured an elbow, then it is a little different. It makes it way harder for them to go get that leg. But if they don't have one and you come up, it's so easy for them to attack that leg, that post that's up. Man, he's so good at not giving up go behinds. And so, I mean, Yazdani's have to probably figure out a way to go underneath him in order to score, because that's the way he hasn't done, because he doesn't really do it.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's got to be a super high pace, low scoring match is what it has to be. He's got to find a way to keep him off his legs. Pretty much if David gets on his legs, it's either points or nothing for Yazdani. I don't know. But, we say if he wasn't in Iran, and this is kind of weird to say, I feel like maybe Yazdani would have a better chance to, figure something out. But I feel like they're so, sort of stuck in how they go about winning that he can't. David made his first team in 2018, right? He was 27, 28 years old, right?
Yes.
And, he certainly has evolved his style, right? So it's not that it can't be done at that age. And to be fair, David's always had an incredibly diverse offensive style.
Yeah. I don't know if you say David evolved that much. I mean, he was always so diverse that he could do so many different things.
Yeah.
I think he grew into the weight class, and he got better at all the things. But evolve, that's a hard one for me.
Yeah,
definitely.
It's probably not evolved.
Well, the way he's evolved, in my opinion, is he keeps up that incredible pace without shooting as much. I don't think he has quite as much high of attack rate, but the hand fight is probably more brutal, and the pressure is still there. But he's not shoot.
He started this thing. I don't know when you could say, and he's always had a high pace, but second periods are just like he just goes nuclear in those periods, and people can't stay with him. So that was a change for sure, and I think that's a good point.
Go find it. He did an interview where he talked about that,
how he like sort of optimized for that last 3 minutes.
Yeah, and it had something to do with shooting less, picking your spots more wisely, but still having a high pace and increased hand fight.
Yes.
Yeah. So, man, I'm on Yazdani's Wikipedia page. He has 9 world medals already, which is pretty wild to think about. World and or Olympics, so if we include them both. And then, man, he's only lost 7 times. His only losses since 2016, Alexander Medved.
Sabalov,
David Taylor.
That was before that.
Sabalov Sabalov was at the Alexander Medved in February of 2016, and then since then, his only losses are David Taylor, and he teched Sabalov later that year at the World Cup. It's actually pretty cool on Wikipedia. They have literally all of his matches, 109-7 in his senior level career.
I've said enough. In America, obviously Yazdani is renowned internationally, especially in Iran. But I feel like he doesn't get the respect he deserves. He's basically a Kyle Snyder situation, where if David Taylor's not at his weight, we're looking at him as a GOAT.
Yeah.
Don't forget.
Which David said that.
Yes, he in the bracket he won in 2016 was very tough too.
Yeah, that's true. He won the bracket with Burroughs, Godoyev.
He beat Godoyev too. Diaper head.
Yeah,
he's getting destroyed, and he somehow won.
And if you look through his matches, dude, his only close matches and his wins. So his only losses are David. His only close matches and wins are Gasimpur. He's a 5-2 win over Gasimpur. 2020 Olympic trials. He has 6-3 over Gasimpur in the 2019 World Team Trials. And besides that, he kind of smashes. Like, I guess if you want to say 11-5 is close over Karuglev, but it's mostly techs.
Yeah. No, he speaking of going nuclear, this guy just goes insane late in matches. Yeah. Really, sometimes he just overwhelms guys early, actually. Like, he just comes out and people are not able to just stay on the mat with him. It's crazy. But if you can hang around like David, and only David can,
yes,
it gets ugly.